Hello, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me. Have you ever wondered what the difference is between all the different AI services that are out there that people talk about? I'm talking pretty much about ChatGPT, Claude, Jasper, Gemini, etc, etc. Well, you know, the other day I was doing some research myself and I was using a couple of these GPTs to help me along with this, and I discovered something that might be interesting. Hello, I'm John. This is SI UK Digital, and on this channel we talk about AI and how it can help your business. Now what I want to do today is compare several GPTs to see if there's anything distinctive about any of the content they create. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a prompt, and then I'm going to paste that same prompt into several GPTs, and then we'll do some comparisons from there. Let's get in. So first of all, I need to generate a prompt in order to carry this into the assessment. And to do this, I'm going to use my very own prompt generator, which you can find free to use on our website, siukdigital.com. And this is a great tool for quickly generating prompts to save you writing it all out for yourself. So I'm going to very quickly copy some text. I'm going to put it in the subject line there. I'm going to ask it to create a blog post, and in terms of styling, this is how this prompt tool works. You can choose different tones, different informations. I am just going to ask it to be academic, descriptive. I'm just going to check the rest quickly. I think that one should be the OK. I think that should be fine. And ask it to generate a prompt, and then down the bottom here it's generated the prompt, and all I do is copy that. I then take it over to my GPTs. I'll put it in here. I'm going to take off the image because I don't need to have an image for this, and I'm going to put no emojis. I'll just copy that so I can copy that as is into the next one. And will it go on that? I'll put it into Claude. Go on that one. I'll put it into Gemini. Will it go on that one? And I'll put it into DeepSeek also. I'm using the free versions of all these just so it's the same as what you've got if you're not using any of the professional solutions. And it's going to very quickly generate these reports, these blogs. So we'll come back to that in a second. Okay, so very quickly I've got these reports here. I'm literally just going to copy and paste them. Just quickly grab the content. We're not going to do any reading of it at this stage. And I'm going to go into my Notebook LM. For those of you not familiar with this, did a video of this the other day. I'll put a link at the end of this video if you can go and have a look. It's a great tool for doing research and data analysis. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding this text into here one at a time. So we'll insert that one. So as you can see, just to add an extra resource in there, I just literally follow the same pattern. And it adds them all down here. And we just check, make sure they are all live, and they are. And what we can do now is interrogate these documents and find out a little bit more about them. And what I want to ask is, very simply, are these reports very similar in content and descriptions? Descriptive. Can't type. Working at a different desk for the video and it feels weird. Right, let's just hit go on that. And what it's saying is that if you look at it, doesn't matter which GPT you use, it's extracting more or less the same data and coming back with more or less the same. So you could almost argue that all these reports are to some extent identical. What that means is, if you're doing this for your homework, for example, and everyone was asking the same question, everyone in the class would hand in more or less the same responses. And this is where it starts to fall down, because the language models that the AIs are trained on are all very similar basis and origin, and they tend to then churn out the same thing. And there's a high possibility that you will come across some plagiarized content with this if you do a further check. There'd be a lot of stuff they've borrowed from different websites, etc. So you would need to be careful using this. But what I wanted to show you more than anything here was it doesn't matter which GPT you use. If you've got one that's your favorite every day, stick with that. If there's no reason to change, it works perfectly. They all perform more or less the same. Where there's a benefit to using different GPTs is sometimes there's a little nuance or change that if you were to mix and match several reports together, you could come up with something that was unique that way. But in all instances, I will tell you to insert your own wording within that. But you can see it's highlighted much of the similarities because they're all using the same content sources, and they all create the data or create the report in the same AI methodology, for want of a better. I'm trying to keep this non-technical when I'm explaining this. So which one you use, as I say, is entirely up to you. And if I have gone to say that, if I go on to ask this, could these be confused as being created by the same author, based on the high degree of similarity in the content and descriptive elements, it is highly possible that these reports could be confused as being created by the same author. So high probability on its analysis of the content. And I think that's what I was trying to steer you to, that they are, each GPT is more or less the same. And I could go on and use more of them that I've got loaded on here, Jasper, etc., Perplexity, so on and so forth. It isn't going to change ultimately the outcome. I think Grok's got a slightly more updated data model, but they're all more or less exactly the same. So there we go. Which one do you use? Any you like. Anyway, this was the main emphasis today. I wanted you to not fear that all this information is bombarding it, and every new iterance of a new AI that comes out is something you've got to jump on. You don't have to. If you're familiar with one, just learn that one as best you can and learn how to write prompts correctly to get the information that you want. And if you are struggling to get prompts correct, use our tool. It's absolutely brilliant. It gives you all the right information in there, and you can take that as a basis, and if you want to change it in future or adapt that prompt, you've already got a starter block. You can go in and tweak as you need to. So there you go. I've been John. Thank you for watching this episode of SI UK Digital Video, and I'll see you again soon. You take care.